That's right. It is Tuesday at 7 p.m. We got a great show. We got the whole crew together. We have actually another Navy chief in the building tonight. So it's 4 Navy chiefs, 1 Army dude. What's going on with y'all, hero?
Just happy to be back, man. I'm good to be here with my brothers again. So let's get it going. I'll kick it over to Matt.
Yep, Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. And don't worry, you saw that. The contest is going to be live here soon. So just remember who your favorite is. That'd be me. I'm going to keep telling you it's me so that you can buy all my shit and I can win. But thank you, everybody, for coming in. And can't wait to talk to our guest today. Going over to Mr. Blake.
Me doesn't rhyme with he. He is DJ Royalty, is the one who is the one who's going to win that contest. What's up, everybody? This is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. I'm your man, DJ Royalty. We're in the building today. It's another Tuesday, and guess what? You got your ass up, and you are here. So congratulations. But I'm going to bring my brothers on in so we can get this thing started. Welcome in, y'all. What's going on?
Just watching a little bit of the news, watching a little bit of sports, watching a little bit of confirmation hearings. Seeing what's going on in the world, man.
Yep.
Hey, there's a stranger in the house.
We got
Who is this guy?
Douglas Brinker. I don't know, but I don't know who he. Oh, it's me. I was like, hey, welcome, Douglas Brinker. He's got somebody on there. Hey, new guy's back. I'm back.
How you doing, bro?
Man, ready to get this podcast kicked off. I'm excited to be back, man. I've had so much stuff going on the last couple of weeks with the holidays and then all kind of other stupid shit that really didn't matter. So, now I'm back. So here we are.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I will say, Mama Cobbs will not be in the building today.
Oh.
Yeah,
she knew you were coming back and you've been gone for a while, so she was afraid of the language.
I was scared
No.
away.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, she's not feeling well, man. She's got medical stuff going on. So she called me personally to tell me to tell you guys that she's sorry she's not gonna make it. She loves you guys, but she's not feeling well. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers. Everybody who's out there, Mama Cobb needs it. And so
shout out Mama Cobbs. Hope you feel better soon.
Yeah.
Oh, show.
So I think we should just get right into it, huh? What do you think? Introduce our guest, bring him on, start talking, unless you guys got anything else you want to talk about.
No, you can't. We're going to do it. Not yet. I need to know. It's too fast, man. It's a new year. I need to know what the hell you guys have been doing.
Matt does everything.
I know Matt's excited. I know why he's excited. I'm excited too. But Al, what the hell you been doing, man? I ain't talked to you since the new year.
Bro, traveling, visiting family, which sucks. I hate family, bro. Man, it's crazy. No, I love my family, but we went to down to visit my wife's family over for pretty much all through Christmas and New Year's. And bro, you know how it is, man. That's a little bit too much time with family, right? Some family, right? And then we came back and I had other, just not really nothing important, man. Just family stuff and. The old rigmarole of just day-to-day bullshit and life catching up to you. So I've just kind of been out of pocket lately. So, but nothing crazy. Just we spent a lot of time away from our house here at our. I hate saying vacation home because it makes me sound like a fucking dickhead snob.
You're not making it sound like you got money.
You got a vacation house. That's cool, bro.
He's got a vacation
money,
home.
man.
Nah,
but he's balling.
My vacation home because I don't want to like I got a couple dollars.
Now, when I tell you the name of the city I bought a vacation home in, you can be like, this is probably a vacation.
It might be smart. Where'd you buy it? Unless you bought it in St. Louis.
No, that shit is called. It's a place called Weewa, Hitchcock, Florida. The locals call it Weewa. It's in between Mexico Beach and Port St. Joe, Florida. So it's right. But bruh, I
got 5 words for you.
Spell it.
How many blacks are there?
I think I'm the closest one, light skinned, high yellow. So I'm probably the closest. No, there's a couple. I seen a couple. I seen a few. But it ain't. It says it in the name. That's it.
When you said the name, I knew.
When you see my son Alex, he's dark as fuck. I'm nervous. Like people walking to him, start speaking Spanish and shit. I'm like, man, Don't fuck around at a Home Depot. Your ass to get abducted. You fuck around.
That's the 5 words I'm going to ask when you say them weird names. How many blacks are there? That's going to let me know. If you ever say, hey, bro, come on down. I'm going to fly.
There's a lot of meth whites. A lot of meth whites in the area. Heroin addicted whites. I've seen those at the gas stations buying boiled peanuts and shit. So they're there. They're there.
All right. There you go. Matt, what you been up to, brother?
Working, dude. Making everybody else's t-shirts so that I can fucking be all happy for y'all when I'm selling your shit. But the reality is I'm going to have to go ahead and put stock in myself because there's going to be a lot of those getting made. So.
I must have missed the last episode with y'all. Is this a competition with these shirts?
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it.
You missed it.
Yeah, you'll get
it. Okay. So for everybody... I thought you watched the episode.
I did, but I must have missed that little section. I must have.
Hey, but you can't be unfair.
You skim through it. You know how you got the little bar on the bottom of YouTube? He just skims through there, skim through there, and then he'll stop. Yeah.
View. Yeah. So here's how it's going to work. February 1st, it launches. Yeah. So whoever of us sells the most shirts this year, whichever one of these sells the most, 10% of the sales from every one of these shirts will go to whichever charity we choose or decide, right? Nonprofit, veteran organization, whatever. But it cannot be the Al Hero Vacation House Mortgage Fund.
I'm gonna work with Scott. We're gonna bring more black folks to We Would Hitchcock.
No. We would Hitchcock. I see what you did there, Matt. I see. All right, Matt or Ty, one of you guys. I see what you're doing, Kyle. I'm good with this. Bring that slide back up with those shirts. I just want to. You see how Ty got that beautiful light blue one over there, all to the corner by itself, and then me and Matt are like side by side right there, close to each other. So I know what's happening here. Now, Confucius would say that one of those black shirts should be on the other side of the blue shirt to try to even it out. But I know what you're doing, Matt. I know y'all got you. I know you.
I'm just gonna buy a bunch of shirts under my own name.
Where would you like yours to be placed? Because it really is not going to change the sales output.
Yeah, you can place it wherever you want to, man. The flames is hot. It's gonna. That's the hotness right there.
You know what though? I will tell you this. Let me tell you guys something right now. So when it comes to this kind of stuff and designing these t-shirts, I take it. It took me a long time, dude. You guys helped me out though. There, Blake. You helped me. Shout out to Renee. Renee's the one that helped us get that thing finalized up. But the graphics for the shirt that go on the sleeves in the back, man, it's pretty dope. I like yours. Yours is good.
You're awesome though, man.
Scott's graphics look the best. I'm a little jealous.
I mean, when you use AI, they should be the best,
bro. You got a whole picture of yourself on your shirt.
Yeah, but let me tell you what he did to me, bro. The first one he sent me, the motherfucker misspelled phenomenal. I'm walking around.
I was just staying true to your vocabulary, dude.
Thank God I live in a city where people don't read and write so well.
Yeah. But you saw it. I didn't even know it, and you didn't notice it. You was like,
nope.
Oh,
It wasn't until Matt told me I was walking around with a misspelling on my shirt. Nobody else knew it.
Yeah,
that tells you the education system down here in Florida.
Exactly.
Nobody knew it. Bro.
I noticed that shit immediately.
Yes, Ty did.
Yeah, Ty knew. Knew.
Whatever.
We didn't tell you for 3 days, Al.
There's no I in teams there, but there is in Phenom I Al. See, Phenom I Al. See,
Al. There you go. I see what you did there.
I had to fix it somehow. But don't worry. I showed him the other day because when I called Al the other day and I was showing him, like I showed you guys, the updates and stuff, right? And I was like, whatever, motherfucker. You completely got me on this thing. My shirt's all backwards and fucking misspelled. So I had to like pull it up and show him, like, no, bro, you're good. I got you covered. So you're gonna get correctly spelled stuff. Just make sure Mason keeps wearing that one, dude.
No. I took a shot.
He's ready to talk to the guy.
No, that was Robotesting.
No.
Testing in there.
No, that's at April 1, baby. That's definitely April 1.
Oh, he said that's some of this.
Oh, okay, you got the good stuff. Ty, so before we bring our guest in, and you guys all get some April 1, I guess I'm going to have to go buy like a case of it. And then
I had April 1 for the first time at your house, Scott.
Yeah,
remember you were making the
made them old fashions.
The best old fashioned I ever had in my life.
Yeah, it was delicious. I got
to bring Troy in here and get down with him down here in Houston and H-Town because I think he's in Jacksonville or something right now. So we'll wax poetic with him.
Yeah.
All right, you the last one, man. You got to give us an update on what's going on with you.
Man, I'm just, I'm going to be working a new job soon. It's going to be great. Everything's wonderful. Life's good. Son's doing Civil Air Patrol. All the kids are coming around. Think I'm going to buy a new car soon. All that shit that I've been talking about for the last 3 months. I think I'm actually going to do it now. So
there you go.
Yeah, just everything's good, man. Like everything's great. I look forward to this every day, and every week, and I look forward to having the four of us here as well. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hey, just want to pitch something for you, Tags. I know you're a reader. It looks like Douglas Brinker is an author. He looks like he's got a couple of books. One is My Dark Shadows, From a Suicidal Self, and then To a Purpose of Hope, Digging Out of the Darkness. So there's a book maybe we could take a look at. It looks like he works for the VA mental health.
So we know Ty's going to read it and tell us all what it's about, because here's our Cliff Notes version.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the movie.
There ain't no movie, bro. Well, there might be a movie. Is there a movie, Douglas? Or do you have it in audiobook? Because we know that Al could do that.
Yeah, I can listen for sure.
Yeah.
Not for a long time, but for a little bit.
Shout out to my man Bob.
Hey, Bob's in the building, my brother.
CIA Bob.
He's talking about something with asses and coke. I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
Asses on coke. We fixed that shit with
cake. Okay, cake.
Hey, so look, imagine this real quick before we go. You're sitting in your backyard, right?
Yeah.
You're having an old fashioned and a cigar with an old NFL legend that's your boy. Then you just out there, you're able to kick and talk football and watch football with somebody who did it in the some of the greatest times of football. That's what kind of weekend I had, bro. I'm super excited.
Awesome.
Check me out, bro. Yeah. Shout out to my man BC. You know what I mean? Yeah,
bro, he's one of my all-time favorites. And every time I your house, you gotta get him to come over. I promise I won't embarrass you.
Yeah, that's
I only gonna hug him like once or twice.
Yep.
Maybe a dry tuggy if he asks.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man BC. Shout out to my sister Kim and my girlfriend Barbara, who saw the episode. Because remember, I told you my girlfriend is around the corner. That, you know what I mean? But my girlfriend is Renee approved. So shout out to Miss Barbara Brown. Yeah. So all right, we good. So now I got all that out. We're good. I feel a lot better because now I feel like you guys are good. Nobody has any crazy stuff. Nothing as bad has happened. So let us move on and introduce our guy that we got with us today. Give us the honor, Matt.
No. So we're talking to a Navy veteran, 20 years on active duty. He did a couple different jobs in the Navy, did a lot of cool things. Exited from the armed services, went into entrepreneurship, brewed stuff in his garage. This dude's my hero, bro. If I could get Becky to let me brew stuff in my garage, dude, it would be on. So he started off that way, brewing in a garage. He was brokering stuff for exchanges overseas, came back and started his own thing, making bourbon. So I'm excited to bring in Navy Chief Troy Pepito to the show.
Troy. Everybody who I know whose name is Troy is cool as hell. I've never met a Troy that I didn't like.
Right?
That's it. It's all in the name. T-Roy. T-Roy.
Even Troy Aikman. I don't like the Cowboys, but just because cool Troy Aikman, he was good. I even like old Troy. I'll give him that.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, you saw Dion said he's not going to go to the Cowboys?
He shouldn't. Why?
But he said he wants to stay in Colorado. He loves it.
Yeah. Colorado. I see some stuff being talked about, like people going places and I was like, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Colorado,
Troy. Yeah.
Brady's probably coming back. Who knows?
if you watch enough of these episodes, you know that Colorado is Blake's home. I mean, I think I know everything about Colorado football now. I don't want to, but I do. I know everything about it.
Yeah, man. Boo-hoo to the Broncos. They got their butt kicked, man. But
I was pulling for Bo Nix, bro. I was like, this dude's about to show out. Nope. Didn't show out.
It's okay.
How about those Vikings last night?
Wow.
Man, that was awful. Spanking.
Hey, they thought they were really good with Sam Darnold, and then Sam Darnold was like, "Just kidding. I'm going to show you how I really play football."
He's like, "Psych."
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know how I made it through that whole game. I was just hopeful that it was going to turn around, and it never turned around. I was like, "Oh man," I felt bad. I was hoping for the Vikings. I was kind of rooting for them. I'm like, "Oh man, you guys."
Yeah. Well, there's that. They're the Vikings, so.
No.
That's right. I'm a Jaguar, so
Are you from Jacksonville originally, Troy?
So I grew up an hour north of Tampa. So I grew up watching the Buccaneers. And then when I retired, Navy brought me back here to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I've been here for 5 years. So
I grew up in Jacksonville, so I'm very familiar.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I was there when the Jaguars came. I'm like you. My dad's from Tampa, so we kind of grew up, liking the Buccaneers and all that. And then when Jacksonville got a team, obviously we were there, so we kind of all pull. I still pull for the Bucks. We lost the other night, which sucked. But
y'all got them creamsicles in the closet. Don't lie,
bro. My favorite player of all time is Mike Allstott, bro.
Heck yeah, dude.
Dude,
you can't go against Mike stuff, but I need some.
What's that?
I said I don't have any creamsicle stuff, but I need some.
Yeah. There you go. So, Troy, we appreciate you coming on, and like we kind of started into it already. We like to do on the show is get everybody to know a little bit about you. So, you did just establish from the Tampa area. What was it like growing up? Like, what did you do for fun? And kind of lead us into what made you decide the Navy was the service for you.
So I grew up in Crystal River, Florida, to be more specific. It's right there on the Gulf Coast. Grew up on the water. My dad was in the Navy. He was a corpsman. He did 4 years, was with the Marine Corps in Vietnam. So he's a combat medic with them, FMF. So 18 years old, came through. I was small town USA. And then I had, where am I going to go? What do I want to be when I grew up? I didn't know. So dad was just like, just join the Navy. You'll figure it out. And so I joined the Navy. So 18 years old. So it was so quick too. So November. So I went into the recruiting station the week before Thanksgiving in 1998. And I told the recruiter, I was like, I got to get out of here as fast as possible. What jobs do you have to get me out of here? And they laid down the 4 forms in front of me. It was airman, seaman, constructionman, and fireman. I knew a little bit about the seaman stuff. I was like, I'll be a seaman. They're like, you can choose your job when you're in the fleet. Good work, shipmate.
It's the best job in the Navy because you don't have to pick one now.
Yeah,
you can just pick from all of them when you get in there. Like you have a choice. It's a buffet.
And actually, you know what? It's awesome actually to do that, to get in and actually see all the rates, because some of the rates that I thought that I wanted to be and saw it in action go, I don't want to do that shit. I was like, I'm damn sure glad I didn't pick that, because then now I have to strike and do all that. So it was kind of nice, but I kind of also wish I would have gone non-designated airman and been on the air side of things. But seaman worked out. I was a deck seaman. So after seaman ATD, I went through boot camp and got assigned to the USS O'KANE, which was a brand new ship out of Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. So I was a plank owner. Got to do that. I did that for 5 years, and then I converted to a master at arms. And then I was master at arms for 15, and then moved around to duty station to duty station. So you converted to master at arms like when they were like, hey, we need a whole bunch of these. If you want to convert, let's go. Yeah. So it was kind of a funny story. So yeah, I came in and I was like, I'm going to strike master at arms. And they're like, you got to be an E5 and you got to be, do some other stuff. There's a lot of other requirements at the time. So we deployed and we were sitting off the coast of Pakistan when 9/11 happened. And I had my package put in already. So that immediately got approved. And yeah, and then I didn't realize how big the ranks were going to grow, the MA community, and how much they raised us from like 2,000 to 10,000 members at the time. And they had 3 MA schools. And I went to Little Creek, and that's where I ended up doing my first Master at Arms tour, law enforcement with them. I went from Norfolk, and then I got assigned a harbor patrol unit in La Maddalena, Italy, which is in Sardinia. So I lived there for 2 years. So horrible. Dude, that's why they shut it down. That's why they shut it down. Because did you notice that in the Navy? Ports like duty stations like that one, Roosevelt Roads in Puerto Rico, all the places that were great, they're like, nah, we don't need these. People have too much fun. And we need to like make sure that they embrace the suck like the Army guys, right, Ty? They just wanted us to have the same, advantages. I think I agree. Yeah. So let's go back though. So how long were you a bosun mate? 5 years. 5 years. So I gotta know, craziest bosun mate story. Ready? Go. Oh my God, craziest bosun mate story. You're taking me back. Yeah, I know. And I know you haven't forgotten most of them because they're amazing, right? Man, I got some of them. I'm trying to think. Some of them that pop in my head right now. I don't know if I want to publicly announce that stuff. That might be. Dang, let me go back to
That's the one we want to hear.
Yeah, that's the one we want to hear. But if you can't say it publicly, we're good. So craziest thing you saw as a bosun mate?
Oh man, dang. Craziest thing I seen as a bosun mate?
Yeah.
Man, you gotta make me go way back in my memory.
Bro, you better pull that Blue Jackets manual.
I know,
out.
I gotta pull that Blue Jackets out. Craziest thing I ever seen. I'm trying to think in deck division. Man, we used to beat the crap out of each other. I mean, people escaping the ship because they were on restriction. Dude, someone think I was duty master at arms, MA. So, I mean, I guess we go back to the war story, some of the crazy stuff. So I was doing maritime interdiction operations. I'll kind of stick with more of the war story stuff as a bosun mate. But we had to go out, and I didn't realize it, but these guys were smuggling oil out of the North Arabian Gulf, and we had to go in there and stop them. So we would catch them at the middle of the night, and they tried to scuttle the ship and sink it. Like, a lot of people didn't realize that stuff was actually happening, and we lost actually 3 dudes during that deployment because of what was happening. And I don't think anybody's ever heard those stories before. I got a little oil because the oil samples we had to take down. So we'd catch the ship. If they didn't scuttle the ship, we would detain them, and then they would get taken down to UAE for prosecution and things like that. So that was some high speed stuff that we did back as a bosun mate.
And that was VBSS, right?
Yeah, it was exactly VBSS stuff. That was like the original VBSS.
So were you piloting the craft to go board the ship, or were you just
I was the coxswain. Yeah, I was the coxswain involved going in. So it would be 2 a.m. We actually had a SEAL sniper attached to us that would disappear in the day. We do flight quarters. Helicopter would come in. They would disappear, and then we would go out and we'd wait for these guys to come into international waters. And then all of a sudden it was boom, it was game on. So that was some of the high speed stuff we did, but some of the funny stuff we did. Oh my God. All right. I got a funny story for you. I was in Bahrain. It's about me, so I'll keep it. All right. So we were out to sea on that same deployment. We were out to sea 90 days. So we got 2 beer days. And after our second beer day, we pulled into Bahrain. Some stuff was broken on the ship, one of the radars. I mean, it was broken. I'm pretty sure that somebody was like, I'm sick of being out here. We mean, like, make sure this thing doesn't work. So we go into port. So we ended up going into port. We were there. And at the time was the Desert Dome. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
Mm-mm.
So, like good sailors in 9/11 war zone going on, we were out there and we were getting we were double fisting. I'm not gonna lie, we were double fisting at the Desert Dome, and the line to the bathroom was so long. It was just like I had to go. I was like, you know what? F this. Fuck that shit. So I went over to this tree. I was like, I'm just doing I'm a guy. I can just, we pee on trees. And I started doing it. And I started peeing. And all of a sudden that tree started moving. It was a Marine behind. I was pissing on his shoe.
What?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I was like, it freaked me out. He was like, hey, what the hell? I guess he was back there. He was Shore Patrol, Marine Corps, watching all of us, but he was hiding behind this bush. It was a bush is what it was.
Yeah.
Wow. So I was like, I got to go to the bathroom. So I started and I started pissing all over his legs and his feet. And I had no idea he was there. So
let's be honest, dude, this isn't the worst predicament you've been in.
And it's probably not the first time he's been peed on. Not the first time a man's peed on him. I just want to throw that out.
Oh my God, it was ridiculous. So he's like, give me your ID card, and he turned me into Shore Patrol, and Shore Patrol took me back to the ship, and I was like, they're like, what are you doing? I was like, look at the line. It was so long, I had to go. And it just happened to be, I was like, I don't know why he was hiding back there. I was like, you really think I would just walk up to somebody and start peeing on him? Right. I was like, no, come on.
Well, you know what, though? But let's be honest. They'd be like, well, how drunk are you right now?
Right.
Because I know somebody that would be like, I bet you won't go pee in that bush. I think there's somebody standing there. And he could do it sober and be like, I'll go right now.
Yeah.
Let's go right now.
I know a guy.
I know a guy
too. Yeah, he's on here right now. Oh, wait, he's on the screen.
Oh, there he is.
I mean, I was butt naked laying face down in the snow in North Dakota and Matt just stood there.
I was like, what? He's like snow angels.
Yeah, that was young. I was 21. I was 21.
Wow.
On that deployment. Yeah, I turned 21 in April. So it was kind of one of those first things. I've been gone and we've been out to sea. We've been training. Yeah. And then finally it was kind of one of those victory moments where we've been out to sea for so long. Everybody was at the Desert Dome, drinking and having a good time and finally decompressing from all the stuff we were doing. And it was just kind of one of those things. It was like, all right, let me go do this. I mean, and the story goes on. There's other stories that happen and all that stuff, but yeah, it was crazy.
You know what that story is? Something you could definitely not do today.
Oh yeah, for sure. You couldn't.
Oh no.
Goodness.
Oh, you'd be on a sex offender registry. You wouldn't be able to come in here 500. I've been there 100 feet, 100, 500
Of
feet
a school.
Oh, you damn, bro.
Yeah, it was but that's one of my funny stories. I had a serious story and a funny story for you. So that takes me back to a little bit. Man, I forgot about that. I had to really dig deep for that story.
Yeah, but see, do you see how clearly you told that story?
Yeah.
It obviously means a lot, right? Like that's a good one, dude. It's a good one.
That's the thing about it. So when we start going down these rabbit holes with stories, like I was like, all right, we're going back all the way to being a postmate. And then as soon as you tell that first story, the mind opens up and it's like the chapter book. He's like, let me refresh it.
That's when you want to go, somebody pull your phone out so I can start talking. And then we can we can record this so we can put it in a book later, right? Or make a movie about it or something.
Oh my goodness. Dude. So yeah, it was like, have you ever seen They Serve Beer in Hell, where it talks about that guy? He was he recorded all of his drunk stories. He had a thing in his pocket and he recorded. And the next day, and he wrote a book about it. It's called I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell. And it's hilarious drunk story.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to write. I'll read that book.
Yeah, we used to read it. So when we'd be out there, so when we were in Expeditionary, we'd be on and we would actually read that book to each other. We'd be reading the chapters out of there and telling, it was so funny to keep us entertained. Yeah.
And so after the 5 years, you went in to be MA, you had to go to A school. You said you did that in Little Creek. So is there any particular reason you decided to go be an MA versus staying as a bosun mate?
So the law enforcement side was really appealing to me because I had a couple uncles that were in law enforcement. And so they were kind of leading me that way. You know, I had looked up to those guys and I was like, you know, this is a good career path. Because originally when I joined, it was going to be 5 years, get to college. I was registered for criminal justice, and that was the route I wanted to go. And then I got in here, and then I actually started doing the military law enforcement. I was like, I don't want to be a cop. It's like, but then I got to do the expeditionary side. So the two sides of Master Army, I got the expeditionary side and the law enforcement side. So I try to gravitate toward the expeditionary stuff, where it was a little bit more high speed, low drag stuff I got to do, but it kept me from doing the LE things. And I got to do the harbor. I really like driving boats. And when I left being a bosun mate, I didn't realize how much I was going to miss it. I didn't leave being a bosun mate because I hated it. It was more of a career decision to go Master at Arms and for the future.
Well,
my growth was
obviously,
career.
Like 5 bosun mates have to die for one person to make second class. You know what I mean? It's like one of those rates where, yeah, it's cool that you can pick what you want, but you know, there's so many in there. And then, dude, best rate in the Navy, best position in the Navy is a second class bosun mate, dude.
The best. Yeah.
If you're a second class, you own everything.
Everything. Because I was BM2 when I left. I converted because I had to be an E5. So I studied my ass off to be a BM2 just so I can convert over to MA. So I made it fairly quickly. And then when I got an MA, when I was an MA2, I was like, this is night and day difference leadership.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, I have no responsibility now. I'm like most people are like, hell yeah, I got my E5, but I don't have to do shit. But I'm like, I'm kind of a high performing individual. I was like, I need something to do. I go, this is kind of a boring job.
So that's interesting though, right? Because at a bosun mate level, like we talk shit about them and say that, you know, I mess with my brother all the time.
They're dumb.
Well, that they're God's gift to the Navy, and you know, we were this and that and all. But when you look at those guys, man, you got like E3s telling people what to do on the ship and get things done. Like they force those guys to have to be in uncomfortable situations to lead people that are like, I'm not doing shit you told me to. And you gotta form tough skin. So I'm sure going to be an MA and you're like, hey guys, we got to do this work. They're like, where did you come from?
Yeah.
Take it easy, bro.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was kind of weird. It was like some of the MA1s and the MACs at the time. I was just like, I feel like I'm more qualified than you to do some stuff. And I didn't want to be like, I was like, I had my surface warfare pen, and MAs didn't have anything. So these guys didn't have pens, and I was one of 2 people that were, you know, in the division. And I was just like, let's go, let's do some stuff. And they were like, pump the brakes, turbo.
Slow down, high speed.
Yeah, slow down, high speed. I was
down.
Like you're trying to get promoted or something.
Yeah, I was like,
calm
shit,
down.
my bad.
Yeah. So you started in the law enforcement side. Would you give tickets? What did you do over there? What about that job made you go?
Scanned a lot of IDs. Scanned a lot of IDs at the gate.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. That gate duty stuff was like when you're sitting there 8, 9, 10. And it got to the point where we were doing 12-hour shifts, and you're on this gate, and you're just like, Oh
you're letting every drunk person come on in. Just don't hit anything on the way in.
So yeah, we would. Yeah, there was things that was like, hey, we always, as a bosun mate, you always looked out. It was the thing with the division. Somebody come back drunk, you're like, all right, you idiot, let's go and put them to bed, right? And so it was the same thing as a master at arms. I kind of had that bosun mate mentality still. It was like, okay, shit, mate. Like I get called over to the base club because somebody was being dumb. They're like, well, you could call the command or whatever. And so it was kind of nice that we were able to make that decision as, law enforcement. It's like, all right, you know what? We're just going to put you to bed. We're like, don't be a jerk. Don't be a dick. Unless you want to go see your captain, don't be an idiot. And we'll just call it a night. And it was kind of nice doing stuff like that. But then it got monotonous. It was like, oh my God, I'm going to go break up another bar fight or whatever. And then all the base bars closed a lot of it. And a lot of that whole deglamorization of alcohol came into effect. And so things started to slow down on the bases. So being slow on the base, everybody was just like, all we could do now is traffic control. So we either stay in the gate and traffic control, and you were waiting for a domestic to happen because that's about the only thing exciting that would happen.
Yeah, you guys would show up, bro. Anytime there was a domestic on the base, it'd be one argument, 12 MA show up. Y'all ain't got shit else to do. Just 85 cop cars. Every MA on the base is there. Like, tell me he hit you. Just tell me he hit you.
So we could do something. But we had to. So I mean, it was fun, LE, and then I got to go to, as I said, I moved to La Maddalena, Italy. I got to be back in the water again. I was doing harbor unit stuff, and it was fun. And I was back in my element. I got to teach the guys there was a lot of dudes that wanted to be coxswains, and they just established the Small Craft Insignia. And I was able to become a qualifier for that. And it was nice being in the training. And so I enjoyed that. And then I went to mobile security after LaMod closed. I was in San Diego, and I did that for 3.5 years. So I deployed 3 times in San Diego with Maritime security squadrons. And then from there, after my 3 deployments there, I went to Chicago, and I was a drill instructor. Did that for 3.5 years, went to Sicily, and that's where all the brewing and all that other stuff started happening. And then I retired and got to Mayport, and that's when I started my career transition into the beverage industry.
Shout out Umbrella Girls at NAS 2. Shout out to the Umbrella Girls at NAS 2.
The Umbrella Girls at NAS 2. So you did some time in Sicily. So
bro, I was in Sig, bro. We used to pull up. They it'd be hot as hell. We pull up in the like the Humvees and shit, and like tell them, come on, ladies. They come running up, and we fucking punch it and kick dirt on them and haul ass. Like,
What year were you there?
So I was my first deployment was Sigonella. So I was there 2000, 2001.
Okay, you were early Sigonella.
So I was there. That was my first deployment. It was Sig was great, bro. I mean, we'd be in there shutting clubs. They had signs in Sigonella like no Americans. Like we knew we'd go in the club and just I got beat up a lot, but we'd go in there and cause hate and discontent.
Like, I would say you were a junior sail in 01 in Sigonella.
Bro, so, good old E3, baby. In there doing big shit.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. So so I did all that. So I did LE, and I did expeditionary. When I get to Sigonella, I did some expeditionary LE combo stuff there, and then and so the beverage industry started. So I actually when I lived in Lamont, I really got into the Wine Bible. Actually, that was the first book I bought out of La Maddalena because I started reading about wines and the region, and we would go and visit them when I was there. And I got to California right after Lamont. I got to California, and there was a lot of beer stuff going on. The home brewers was big out in California. So I kind of dug into that and started reading about beer industry, and it was like kind of exciting. And the house, and what I realized so I rented a house from a guy. I was going to rent a house from a guy. When I went and looked at it, we walked in the closet in his garage, and it was a brewery. He converted his garage into a brewery. And I was like, what is this stuff? And he was a professor at UC Davis, whatever. And he told me about brewing beer. He's like, yeah, we're home brewers here. And I was like, light bulbs, boom, boom, everything's going off. I was like, I want to make my own beer too. And so, I didn't rent the house from the guy, but that I was asking, I was like, this is all come with free beer and all that stuff. And so we didn't get the house, but it really sparked an interest in, reading about the industry and all these breweries that are coming up. And then when I got to Chicago, one of my drill instructor partners knew how to brew beer. So in some of our downtime, he's like, hey, Troy, you want to go learn how to brew beer? I'm like, yes. I was like, there's a beer shit in the woods. Let's go. Let's do this stuff. And so we went over there, and he taught me how to make beer. So he was the guy who actually, John Jackson, aviation guy. He lives in Oklahoma. Shout out to John. So from there, he taught me how to make beer. And then I got to Sigonella, and that's when I really started making beer. And that's where I was doing it in the carport in Sigonella. And so I was making it and it was doing it. It was just kind of my off time thing because I was able to get fresh ingredients in Sicily. So I had my Codice Fiscale was my little tax card, and I got with the internet out. I was able to look for these grain stores, and I had grain shipped to me at my place in Sicily. And I just started making beer and making more beer, and I was giving it away. I had growlers, and people would, when people would come over and they would drink it, and then I got in with the Sicilian beer scene. People didn't even realize there was a huge beer thing going on in Europe at the time. And so went down that road, and then I met to get into before I got into that. So from a beer guy, I went into the wine stuff, and then those winery was like, can you get me in the Navy exchange? And I had no idea. So as a chief, chiefs like to network, and we call everybody. If we don't have the answer, we'll find the answer. And that's what I did. I found the answer on who we needed to talk to and what the process was. So I learned how to sell alcohol to the military.
That's an easy sell.
Reglamorize.
Reglamorize. So
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, so I kind of learned that in this winery, got into the exchange, and they were selling, it's called Gambino wines. You can find them in Total Wine. You can find them overseas. They're overseas in all those places. And then and that's when I was kind of, my transition was like, I think this is what I'm gonna do, because I really wanted to be a brewer. But then I was like, and then I kind of got into the sales side of things. And I was like, all right, you know what? And then one thing led to another. So I came back to the I started my first company called P&M Beverage Imports. So I imported those wines, brought them in, did that stuff. And then I actually hit a brick wall, because when you came to the US, the alcohol laws are completely different than the rest of the world. And I
like, there's rules. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Like, what are we doing here? For sure. So I put that on the back burner, and just coincidentally, I met, the CEO of Hotel Tango Distillery out of Indiana. And he called me. So I met him a few times to talk with him. And he reached out to me a couple of months before I retired. He goes, hey, can you do for us what you did for that winery? We just got into the military exchanges. Will you manage the military for us? And I was like, yes, of course I will. Because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was signed up for college. I was going to go that route. I had my GI Bill, and I was just going to do that and figure out what's going to happen next. So I was shooting from the hip, and then I got that phone call, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll definitely take it. And so I was their director of sales, and I learned how to be a sales director on the civilian side in the alcohol industry, because I was with them for 5 years and reporting directly to the CEO of a big distillery. That distillery got pretty good size.
Their whiskey is good too.
Yeah, they got really good whiskey. Yeah, absolutely got good whiskey. And they got a new product out called Schmallow. They did a partnership with Swiss Miss. Their Swiss Miss is on there. So they're doing pretty good up there in the Midwest. COVID kind of slowed things down, and we had to narrow things up a little bit with the distillery. But then I left them, and I had a job. So that led for another thing in the transition, because I was able to put all that stuff on my resume. No idea. A job opening came open for Sazerac. I was like, well, I'm going to try for Sazerac. And Sazerac owns Buffalo Trace. They're the big parent company. So if those who aren't familiar with some of these, like Modelo is owned by a company called Constellation Brands, and Guinness is owned by a company called Diageo Johnny Walker. So there's the big companies that manage all the little stuff in the middle. And so I had the opportunity to go work and sell Buffalo Trace products. And I thought that was pretty good. But then I sat back and go, shit, man, I've always wanted to be a maker. I've always wanted to be my own business owner. And I'm just going to take my newfound knowledge that I got working with Hotel Tango, and I'm going to take my shot. And, I had to go down and sit through the finances and say, can I do this? Like, is it going to be a thing I could do? Is it going to completely unravel my family type of thing? And so my wife, when I sat down, had a heart to heart.
Alcohol does that.
It does do that. So I would tell you, I think we're at a point now, I don't know if you guys agree, we should take a quick break, because you're at the point now where I would really like to get into what your transition was like, other than what you've described already, and how you got into that. And I think, I don't know, what do you guys think? Taking a break real quick would be right along lines with doing that.
Yeah, let's do it. Take us out, Scott.
Wow, of course, sir. This is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. I'm your man, DJ Royalty, and we will be right back after these messages with my man, Troy. Don't you guys go nowhere. Matter of fact, why don't you take this time right now to like, follow, and subscribe to our channel, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you are. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up. hit the little subscribe button and you follow us and tell somebody to do the same. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Like I said, this is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. We'll see you in a second.
On average, we lose 22 veterans to suicide every single day. These heroes who once fought for our freedom now battle invisible wounds. Mission 22 is dedicated to healing our veterans and providing them the support they need. As a leader in our community, we stand with Mission 22 as we believe in giving back to those who have given up so much for us. It's our way of saying thank you for your service. For more information, visit mission22.com.
Proud, patriotic, purpose-driven. Welcome to Got Your Six, a veteran-owned t-shirt brand that's more than just apparel, it's a movement. We're a small veteran-owned business founded for those that understand the meaning of service. At Got Your Six, every design we make tells a story of courage, sacrifice, and the undeniable bond between those that protect and serve the country and communities they love. Our mission, to honor veterans, first responders, and the values that unite us all. Whether you're showing off your pride or gifting it to someone that served, Got Your Six, we've got you covered, literally. When you shop with Got Your Six, you're not just buying a t-shirt, everybody. You're supporting a veteran-owned business, giving back to our community, and wearing your values proudly. So join the movement. Shop now and let your shirt speak for you. Visit us at Same Flag, Same Oath, because you know what? Freedom is always in style.
It is.
Right. Freedom is always in style.
I need to add music to that because I sound retarded as shit when I'm talking on that video. So
Nah, you don't. You just sound. It just echoes a little bit.
I know. That's why the music needs to go in, buddy.
It's okay. We'll get better every time.
I'm gonna have Al Hero voice that over for me.
He just buddied me, bro. He hit me with the buddy hard. That was a hard buddy too.
To the hard buddy.
You know what a buddy is, Matt? My dad told me this a long time ago.
I don't know if I want to know.
A buddy is a guy who goes downtown and gets a blowjob and brings you back one. That's a buddy.
We're not buddies then, dude. There's no way we're
You buddied me hard, so you owe me one.
Hey, buddy.
That was great.
I don't even know where to go from there. Hey, so you guys want to talk to Troy again? What's going? No, I'm just kidding. So, by the way, everybody, just so you know, we had highlighted it earlier. We're in the break now, but keep on the lookout. That t-shirt competition's coming soon. I can't iterate it enough that the money we raise from this is going to go to an organization or a group that is going to do some good for some veterans or some people in need. So just be on the lookout. I know we're all kind of figuring out who we're going to donate to when we win. We're all saying we're going to win, but we already know it's going to be me. Yeah, so just stay tuned and make sure that you go out there and support, because the best thing we can do is help other people in their mission to help veterans. So that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, and in case you're confused, it's a DJ Royalty t-shirt contest. So if you ever in your mind don't know who to vote for, just remember this is the official DJ Royalty t-shirt contest. The other shirts are just in there for for you to choose. But the voting one is the one that says royalty on it. That's the one that you get credit for voting on. So just remember that.
Okay. I see what you did there.
Just in case yours is not. Hey man, have you guys ever had these? Quick advertisement, man. You guys ever had these names? Shaquille O'Neal gummies?
I have.
No.
They're pretty. I have. They garbage. I don't like them.
They're good, man. You told me they were good last time we talked about it, Al.
I ain't had those. I had the ones that
He was
the
high
sour
when he told
one.
you that, Bobby.
You had the sour one. You had the one with
Yeah.
the cactus plant. I don't like that one.
I don't like the ones.
You had a green bag.
Yeah, it tastes like.
Yeah, man. You got to get the purple bag, man. You got to get the shack faces, man.
Yeah, the ones I had were not that great.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I shouldn't be eating this stuff.
Hey, but I do want to make sure that we're gonna donate money to single moms on polls. I do want to make.
If you win, you can donate it to whatever single mom charity you want, buddy. We just need their tax records before you donate it.
Buddied you twice.
You buddied me twice. I'm getting.
Well, you're talking about strippers now. You're gonna go find your own whatever you're gonna find downtown. So I'm just gonna start calling you shipmate then. Hey, shipmate, we're gonna do it good.
Bro, you shipmated me, bro.
Well, what's worse, buddy? You're shipmate.
Definitely, buddy.
Okay,
if my
shipmate.
dad said it's true.
Roger that, shipmate. Good to go.
Damn, you shipmated me too.
I thought dude was pretty bad. Like I thought dude. A dude is
dude is good. What's up,
no,
dude?
it's not, man. A dude. If you look up the dictionary, dude. Let me see that.
Any elephant butt hair or something crazy like that?
Hair on a horse's butt or something like that. It's like a horse butt hair. Is a dude.
How bored are you that you looked that up?
Somebody said that.
Hey,
somebody told me.
Where's the Google? Where's the Google?
Yeah, where's the Google? I mean, somebody.
I could talk to my phone whenever I want. You know?
Somebody in chat, Google dude, and the definitions of dude. I think it's like down in the third one or something like that. It's something like that. But put it up there just so I make sure I'm right. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, well, all the words that I use to talk to my friends, I need to just stop using them then. Okay, got it.
Bob knows. He said, hey, dude, he loses his mind when people call him dude. Yeah. I remember
Bob
being
loses his mind when you say good morning to him.
Dude. Huh?
Yeah,
he was
good about it.
Say good morning to him. What do you mean? How do you know what kind of goddamn morning it is?
What about fellers? Is that good? All right, fellers. Should I say that?
Yeah. What's another one?
I don't know.
Yeah. Troy.
My wife calls me fucktard a lot.
Oh, fucktard.
Well, I mean, that's a term of endearment.
She calls me fucko and fucktard, and I don't like either one of those.
They're both terms of endearment, though.
I don't care for them.
Well, I mean, when you've been married twice to the same woman, she's kind of allowed to say whatever she wants.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, because you didn't learn the first time.
My first wife was a real bitch. My second wife, I like her a lot. Just
I don't know what she did in the time that it took us to get married again, but I'm appreciative.
She could have stayed with me, bro. She's lucky.
Oh, that's so funny.
She's winning.
I think that's a Navy thing, man. I know like 3 or 4 people that got married again.
What's the deal with all the boats? Crazy as hell too. Like, why do the bosun's mate have all this crazy story?
Bro,
bosun mates, they got some.
They're on the boat.
They run the ship, and they run it. Yeah. And they like to fight. Like if
it's gray, has a door or non-skid on it, it's theirs.
Yeah.
So they would know where all the hiding spots are. Yep. They know where all the dumb places you're gonna go do dumb shit is, and they just walk around looking for it. So that when they catch you, they can be like, "Remember who did not tell on you today?" And they've got you. They've got you.
They've got you by the dudes.
You owe the bookie money.
Got you by the dudes.
What you doing in this here fan buddy? What you doing in this here fan tail, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hanging out with my buddy.
Watch out, dude.
Dude, buddy.
Oh, man.
Homie.
Oh, God.
All right, let's bring Troy back.
Ex-bosun mates. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say. Let's bring all Troy back in. See what he thinks about the word dude and buddy. That's the topic right now. Dude or buddy? Which one do you prefer?
Dude or buddy? I would probably be called dude. I'd like call me dude all day. I use dude. I'm like, yo, dude, come on, dude. And I'm like, all right, dude. Or what up, dude? But it was so I was listening to you guys talk about that. I go, so when I was in RDC, I had a division of the female house with all the females on it, and I used to say donkey punch. And it was a serious
yes.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And it was like a serious thing. I was angry and I'm yelling. And I said something about donkey punching. And the group of females just started laughing in the middle of the serious moment. I was like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? And I went over this one. She was just like, and I was a petty officer at that. She's like, petty officer. She's like, do you know what that means? I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna punch you real hard like a donkey, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, go to Urban Dictionary and look that shit up. I pulled my phone out and I read it, and I looked up and I was like, okay, females, I want to let you all know I did not mean what I said. And I was like, I had to go into immediate apology, like trying to still be a hard ass.
Yeah.
Just telling you what you're not supposed to say in uniform.
What
a room full of females.
To a room full of females.
Females that you're about to donkey punch all these
and
bitches.
They were laughing. That's why I was like, I'm so glad they started laughing and telling. I was like, I walked out of there. I was like, all right. I was like, Eddie, I was like, good, carry it. It like completely saved the day. They were like, oh my God, petty officer's gonna make us do push-ups and all this shit right now.
I'm gonna do push-ups and get donkey punched.
Oh my God. I left. I just left. I went downstairs to senior chief officer and said, you might get some complaints. I don't think so, but just FYI, there might be, I might have been using some terms that are out of Urban Dictionary that I did not know existed.
When IG calls, just so you know,
so if IG calls, just FYI, this has happened, so you're not blindsided.
And they'll all tell you that I corrected myself before it got out of hand.
Right. Correct.
So there's that.
I told them I was going to give them a Cleveland steamer instead of a donkey punch. Whatever. A Cleveland steamer.
Bro, but it was hilarious, yeah. So, and then Bosa mates back the fighting. Hey, you want to talk about Bosa mates fighting on the ship? I seen some fights, some bad ones. We got one where a guy smashed his knuckles so bad we had to airlift him. We were underway, and the IDC was like, "He's got to get off the ship." So he had a fight that was fighting. I was like, man, yeah. So there have been some fights on the ship.
Yeah, we had some pretty good brawls on the mess deck.
Fan room counseling, a lot of fan room counseling, bulkhead, some bulkhead, what do they call it? Bulkhead discipline.
Yeah, Connex box counseling, attitude adjustments.
Yep. I got beat up many times in a Connex box for running my mouth. I donkey punched one of my petty officers, and just kidding.
Man, we
my gosh!
You remember Levy? You know Levy, right? Matt, you know Levy too, right?
Yeah. Well, I know who he is now. I never like certain, but I know who he is. He's the man.
That's cheap now. But man, we used to be on the aircraft carrier, man. We used to have races in the hangar bay. The whole one side of that last hangar bay, we used to race from one end of it to the other end. And Levy was like one of the fastest people on the ship. And man, I was racking up money on that ship, man. It started off with like just, friendly competition. Say, hey, I can beat you, and one person would race, and then somebody would see it, be like, no, I'm faster than him. And it turned into this thing. We had the whole hangar bay, both sides full of people. And it's like, all right, I'm putting them up. I'm announcing, all right, the next race we're going to have Kerry Levy against, I can't remember the other guy's name, but he was fast too, man. And they were on your marks, get set. They'd take off down that thing, but everybody was betting before they raced. And we collected money, man. It was crazy. Then they got us the hell up out of there because that was illegal business. But we found stuff to do to be crazy.
I was about to say you about to get a RICO charge on you.
Man.
You about to get RICO. And you know why it carries fast? Because I was told this, and now I'm about to Google it later. Maybe you can answer it for me, Scott. But I heard black people got extra bone in their foot that makes them faster. Is that true? You got extra bones?
It's a muscle. It's a muscle in the calf. It's an extra muscle in the calf.
It's an extra. It's extra. Y'all got some extra.
We have extra bone. I don't know if it's in our foot, but bone. I know that.
No, I didn't say you got longer bones. We know that. That's
the only extra bone I know about. That's why they call it bone.
Yeah, I know that y'all got extra muscle in the calf. See, I knew it was some extra.
Yeah, something like that. Extra muscle in the calf. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
That's crazy.
Damn.
Oh man.
So the original Fast and the Furious was in the hangar bay. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. We're gonna get Kerry on. We're gonna get Levy on, man, so he can tell you about that because it was pretty crazy. But he was fast, and I'll tell you, man. He's from Louisiana. Kerry was fast. He's super tall. I didn't think that he would be as fast as he was, but he was very, very fast.
For every step he takes, it's like 7 for a normal person. That motherfucker like 8'11".
There was another guy. That was He was a track. He did track before he joined the Navy, and I can't remember who won that one because it started getting heated. But yeah,
I bet y'all ain't raced no real Africans. You know them Africans on the ship can them.
No. I'll tell you what.
Them dudes from Africa, bro. Them jokers fast, bro.
It's funny you say that, Al, because we did have one. We had
did y'all really?
He was from Nigeria, and we used to call him the Nigerian Nightmare, and he did that. He came on. And he was like, oh, I was so fast. I used to chase lions. And no. I said, okay, so everybody betted on him. Man, he ran about 14 steps and pulled his hamstring, and it was over with. I was like, man, get this guy out of here. He was not, he looked fast. He had all the muscles and all the stuff, and we just knew that he was just going to take off and fly down the hangar bay. He was trash.
No,
so that's not true. Definitely not true.
Oh my God.
Hey, Ty gonna be fucked up. Hey, he's on shot number 2. Ty gonna be sweating. The last
There
time
we
we
go.
played whiskey with Ty, he was in
So
he was on the
speaking-
floor.
Like that's the cues, bro.
Sweat.
That's the cues. That's
That's
the
the
cues
cue right there. Back to you, Troy. I'm sorry about that. We got off ramp.
No, so
You guys are hilarious. You guys are so funny. Telling these sea stories. It takes me back. Dude, I've been retired 6 years now, and I don't get often around to be around all the guys. It's just like, this is so funny. It feels so good to be around.
Welcome home.
Welcome home, my man.
Welcome home. And if you ever want to come back and talk some shit, you just need to let us know. Invitation's always open.
It's fun talking shit. That's for sure.
Hell yeah, dude. So let's go into, you got into the brewing and doing all that stuff. So walk me through, you did your 20, you're getting out. What was transition like for you? Because earlier we were talking about it and you said you like talking about that. So talk to us through your transition personally, and then like what kind of obstacles you faced or, different things like that.
So one of my things was like my transition. It's like, what are you going to be when you grow up? So you get asked twice, you get out of high school, you're like, what are you going to be when you grow up? You don't know. And you're getting out of the military because one day it's going to come to an end, whether you do 4, 8, 20 or 30 years, it's coming to an end. So you got to start thinking about that stuff. And I'd always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to start something. And my wife was like, you got so many hobbies. Why don't you pick one of your hobbies and focus on that? And I was like, oh.
For real though?
Yeah. I was like, you really, okay, cool. Yeah. So I really got into that home brewing and digging it down. And so that's kind of where I got into sales. Was like, man, if I owned a brewery, what would I do with all this beer? I'd have to sell it. How do I sell all this stuff? Because I know I can make, that's the easy part. That's like, I can make quantities and quantities of it, but how do I get rid of it? And who do I sell it to and all that stuff? And that's kind of where I got into the whole military sales thing. It was like, oh, well, can I sell my beer to the military? I mean, how does that work? Craft beer. And that's where I was kind of started talking with the Sicilian winery guys. And then they kind of pointed me in a direction and we just kind of went from there. So things I had to think about. So I really leaned into that. So then I really started writing. I wrote out a business plan and I get all that stuff going. And I started researching. I started looking at the federal websites, the TTV, and how do I do this and calling people. And I was actually reaching out, doing the chief thing that we do, reaching out to people and networking that worked in the beverage industry. And that's really how I came across Travis Barnes, was networking. I was like, here's this veteran-owned company. It's a distillery. And started talking to him about it and say, hey, yeah, this is what I got going on. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to start this import company and get into all that stuff. So I really had to start, putting checks in the box on what do I needed to do. And so I officially launched my company, P&M Beverage Imports. I brought in the wine to the United States. I brought in some beer too. So I found some supplier partners overseas that wanted to come to bring their products to America. I was like, I'll be your importer. They agreed and we had conversations. I flew all around Europe and it was crazy. I felt like a rock star because I had no idea how many people wanted to come to America with their brands and how hard it was to find an importer. And it got to the point where I was getting free alcohol like crazy. Like I had to give it away because people were like, oh, take me to America. This is my brand. And they were pitching me to get them access into America. And I ended up bringing in, I brought in 2 beer companies because beer was hot. One was in Sicily, one was in Malta, and then Gambino Wines, which was in the military exchange. I was like, well, you're coming with me to America. That's for sure. I go, we're selling you like crazy. So I got to the United States and I knew about the 3-tier system, which is it's after Prohibition, the federal government put this thing in place called the 3-tier. So I had to figure that out. And then it's still a networking world in America. And I ended up having to put my company on the back burner. So it was kind of one of those things. I was like, damn, I failed, but I didn't really fail. At the time I thought I did, but it was such a learning curve that opened a new door for me. I kept going. And that's when I got the job with the distillery. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize what I created actually created my own resume. So I was like, I'm not putting this on a resume. The people are going to laugh at me. This is a joke. Right. And no, I had sales experience in the liquor industry on a baseline. So I was able, and that's where Travis was really interested in, that I had done this stuff. And he'd been a civilian for a while. He was a Marine Recon, and he had been a hot minute. He went to law school and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah. So, and I just kept learning with them, it was being a sponge and just kept going and kept growing. And then just after that, that's where I took that career path change. It's like, do I keep going down and just being a sales rep and still were you sales director and work my way up the chain of command in the Sazerac world? And then I was like, you know what? I got to do this, or I'm always going to wish. I was like,
yeah. So let's step. So I one key thing I heard you say just now that I'd like to go back to, and if you could expound on a little bit, is that you got to a point that you were growing so big that you felt like you failed, right? You're transitioning, you're trying to find a job, you failed. And I know that me personally and everybody else that has been in the same situation that we've all been to get out, right? Like you said, whether it's 4, 8, 15, 20, 30, you got to get out at some point. So what was it that made you felt like you were a failure? How did that translate to the people that you were initially helping to bring brands into America? And like, if you can help to like walk us through like what you're feeling in that moment and how you decided to get past it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So it sucks because, you spend all this money on your business, right? You try to create something from nothing and you have to pay for it. And so I dug into my savings, and it was kind of one of those things. I was like, damn, that was such a stupid idea. I burned all this money trying to do this, man. I said, now I got to start over and find a job and rebuild my savings and do all that stuff. So it was just like, damn. So you started thinking again of the future. It's like, all right, I'm starting over again from scratch. I'm at ground zero, but really I wasn't at ground zero. But even though I felt that way.
Sorry, was it the imports that were you not able to get them in now? Like what was the thing that made you have to stop, I guess is what I'm trying to.
Yeah. So what had stopped it was the barrier to entry when I got in America. It was that 3-tier system I was telling you about, was that I couldn't sell direct and do these things that I was able to do and that I had knowledge of. And I really needed to shake hands with a lot of wholesale partners because I needed a wholesaler to sell my product. So as an importer, I fell on like the top line, the wineries, breweries, distilleries. Importers is like the tier 1, and then tier 2 is wholesalers and distributors. That's used interchangeably, and then your retailers in America. And then what the heck is that my phone? Did you see that?
I keep thinking that the cops are pulling up to your front door.
I'm like, what is that? I was thinking, what is that flashing? But yeah, so, and then there's retailers, and that's how the product has to move through the American system. Alcohol has to move through the system that way. And I knew no wholesalers. Nobody was picking up the phone. Nobody's calling. And I have a dock full of, I had 15 pallets of alcohol, beer and wine sitting in the dock in this warehouse. So I'm paying for this warehouse, like I'm paying rent and I'm paying for stuff to move this product. And I couldn't move it like I thought I was going to be able to in the Navy. And then finally it was just like, I got to shut this down. I'm burning money. I'm just going to go broke.
And so how did that affect your relationship with the companies that you were trying to get them into America?
I just had a heart-to-heart with them. I was like, hey, guys, now I see why it's so hard. I had to tell them, I said, this is why it's so hard for you guys to get into America. So I educated them at the same time on why it's so hard to get into America and what they need to do. So it was kind of one of those things. I started teaching them what they needed to do and who they needed to call and things like that. And then the winery on their own ended up getting into Total Wine. So they're into Total Wine and they have their import with those guys. So I'm not involved with that part of the thing, but I still have a relationship with them. And he still calls me and asks me about the American, the world, the layout. It's like a huge spaghetti mess of alcohol laws. And so when I went to Tango and worked with Hotel Tango, I really learned the system. And that's when I really started to meet people. I started to meet the wholesalers. I learned who to call, not to call. So I just kept learning and growing and all it is really experience, and I didn't realize that's what I had created for myself on my transition was experience, even though I thought I had failed, in which I did. The company failed. It didn't go belly up, but I had to just shut the door. So I didn't go. And then and that's what Genuine Spirit Company is. So I took that off when I left Tango. I was like, I'm going to rebrand P&M Beverage Imports, and I'm going to call it Genuine Spirit Company after the chief. So we're Genuines, Genuine Spirit. I'm taking this genuine journey and kind of going through this whole thing, pulled that off the back burner and then got into whiskey because I learned so much about the bourbon world and making it and brewing it and selling it and doing all that stuff. And that's kind of where it led into that. And then knowing my network, it made things easier. So it got to hit that bell curve of struggle. And then it kind of like, oh my God, this has gotten a lot easier now. Finally, especially when I launched the brand April 1, because I learned a lot about marketing alcohol with Hotel Tango. And that's a thing. It's like, it's not something you can just slap a sticker on and go out there and people are going to buy it. I mean, 95% of brands today fail.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, so these guys right here are awesome. These guys are officers. These guys are pilots. They're out of Maryland. They have a single malt whiskey. This old line guys, you got to check them out. They got good stuff. But yeah, so you go and meet these other guys. There's a lot of other veterans that are in the alcohol world that, you know, they're carving their paths. And
yeah, I'll tell you one thing that I noticed from what you guys do at April 1. Like I told you before we came on, like all of a sudden I see this Facebook post. It's like, hey, I'm launching this bourbon. It's called April 1. It's made by a chief. And I immediately was like, I got to buy it. But then what I've noticed, y'all's advertising makes me feel like I'm in an old school Chiefs mess. That's like in the, like, you know, olden days where it's black and white and it's got that feel. And you feel like you're in the Chiefs mess, but you also look like you're in a speakeasy, right? So you're trying to, when I look at y'all's stuff, man, I'm like, whoever finishes your stuff, they do a great job. Just the look of it.
Appreciate it.
Like it draws you in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and those are kind of the things when we launched the brand, because when we designed the bottle, we came up with the name. It was funny because what I really wanted to do with the bottle and the marketing put 1863 or 1893 on it, and apparently the trademark office said no, said Coca-Cola owned it. So I ended up going with the day and the month. So there was a lot of stuff that went into, like, you hit the beer, you're like, damn, that's a great name. We're like, yeah, we're going to use that name. No, you're not. Government says no. You're like, oh my God, back to the drawing board. You know, and those are those frustrations that you got to kind of push through as you climb your mountains to get through your transition. And so I learned about marketing, and I was like, so we launched the brand. We're like, what can we do to say this is a chief brand without saying it's a chief brand? You know, and
just put the most famous day in the world on the bottle and make everybody think you're joking, but really there's really a real meaning behind that day. Yeah.
Well, we actually used that April Fool's thing to our advantage when we launched it, because I don't know if you saw some of our ads. We were like, April 1 bourbon, no fooling is what we were saying. And it was like, this isn't a joke. Like, this is really, because I was getting phone calls and messages like, is this a joke, April 1 Fool's Day thing? Like, is this really?
It was almost genius, right? Like, you're joking, right? You're going to launch a bourbon on April Fool's Day. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's called April 1, and it has nothing to do with April Fool's Day. So those were kind of those fun things that we kind of do. And you didn't know, you're just like, well, let's roll the dice and see what happens, you know? And
I think it's cool that your wife was like, take your hobby and go make money with it. Because if my wife was like, take your hobby, Al, and go make money, I'd be like, how do I market masturbation? How do I what kind of business case scenario do I need to come up with? How do I brand my masturbation? I don't really. So,
what's
but I think
the logo going to look like?
Yeah, what's this logo? It's going to be real small. It's going to be a very small logo, but I mean, I can figure it out. But no, I think it's pretty cool that your wife was like, because I remember like what Matt was saying when I was transitioning out. I remember sitting in the pickup line. I had like 14 days left till I was like fully retired, and I was sitting in a car pickup line to pick up my daughter, and my wife was me. It's like I'm not trying to put pressure on you, but like, are you going to get a job? I'm like, I was like. Hit her with the whole bitch. They gonna be beating on my door the day I retire. They gonna want me.
Yeah,
and that shit didn't happen at all.
That didn't happen at all. Yeah,
I took a job making like $15 an hour. Like I was, but it does help to have as veterans that support system, right, from your family. You know, saying, hey, you have all these hobbies, you have all these things you love to do. Find a way to take that hobby and make money in it, right? Because I mean.
Yeah,
my hobbies. Yeah, I'm not making money with my hobby, but you know what I'm saying? If there was a way.
There's a way. Yeah, you got to look at some of the stuff. There's hobbyists out there, and it's kind of, there's like, man, I could make a hobby really selling beer and stuff. So, she was a good person to lean on, and she was like, yeah, just do it. She's like, she was like, I'll probably give him my support because he's probably going to go do it anyways. Without my support.
Well, you know how that goes. Yeah. That's definitely going to happen. Even if I told you, you're going to do it anyway, so might as well support, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Al and I talked when he was getting out, and I was telling him how it was on the other side. I'm like, I know you think it's going to be easy, but it's not going to be that easy, because we did 18, 20, 22. We did a career. So we're like, I'm going to go get a job, and I'm never leaving that one because I didn't leave this one. And then you start that first job, and I was like, this job fucking sucks.
Yeah, I literally got an interview at a freaking armored car company like Brinks, and I walked in there in suit and tie. I'm like, I'm motherfucking senior chief hero. They about to, and the lady was like, I have combat experience. I've done convoy security. Like, this is right up my alley. I'm gonna be like, they're gonna be like, sign right here. We're gonna pay you $1 million. And the lady was like, we'll start you on Monday. It's 80 hours a week. 1475. I was like, 1475. Is that like word like a week? And she was like, an hour, and you'll start off at, I was like, man, this is not going well, right? As a veteran. I'm about to go home and tell my wife, like, we're gonna have to fucking sell this house. How many kiddies do you have left? Like, you got 2 of those. Those got to go, and we got to get rid of one of these motherfucking kids. One of these kids is gonna have to they about to be on the black web. We're gonna get rid of one of them, right? But it was tough. I mean, it's really scary as a veteran transitioning. So the fact that you were able to take something you love to do and you were already kind of doing it and make it what it is now is pretty impressive, because a lot of veterans don't have that opportunity or don't end up in that situation, right? There's, so you got them out there still looking for jobs. So
exactly. So when I took that job with Tango, they were like, hey, we don't want to insult you, but we can't pay you a lot. And I was like, okay, what's not a lot of money? And it was like, okay, what's not a lot of money? $40,000, $50,000, and they gave me the letter, and it was $24,000 a year. And I was like, well, I really want to learn this, and I need to get my foot in the door. So I accept your offer. And they were like,
I'm about to be eating a lot of ramen noodle and ketchup, calling it spspaghetti. Y'all about to be ramen noodling it the fuck up, bro.
Back to Seaman days. I'm going, back into barracks, eating ramen and stuff, kind of living back those junior sailor days. And I had to kind of humble myself and do it. It's not an easy transition. And people are going out, because I thought I was like, oh man, I can walk on any door, knock on it, and you're just like, and so it's really hard. And so I'm actually doing some stuff with Hire Heroes USA and working with veteran transition. Because we're releasing a new whiskey that's going to help bring some attention to them. So we're going to do a straight rye whiskey. We've already created labels, so the new label's coming out. I don't even think I've shown anybody that, but so that label's coming out. And with our move to Bardstown, Kentucky, that's coming up, we're going to have access, and we're going to have that. We're going to give $2 back per bottle to that organization to hopefully help with veteran transition. And if anybody's interested in getting into the sales and marketing or production of any kind, I mean, it could be anything, they can call me, and my door's going to be open for, just to talk about it. And kind of, hopefully maybe I can find them job placement. I was able to, matter of fact, when I was Hotel Tango, we got on board with a skill bridge program. I brought that to Tango, and we were able to bring in a couple service members in transition. One of them actually got a job with Sazerac. He did a year with Tango, left Tango, and ended up getting, and that's how I found out about the job with Sazerac. Why I applied for it was because I reached out to him. So kind of ended up going back the other way. I was like, I'm leaving Tango. I need another job. And I thought I was going to be with Tango for 30 years. I was like, just like you said, I did one job for 30 years. I'm going to do this other one. I was like, man, this job is going to end up a lot shorter than my first time. And
I think that's the other failure piece, is that I'm not staying in this company for years. I'm leaving after I started because I can't make it over here. How can I not make it in this job? It's so easy, or whatever. And you find out real quick that when you transition to the civilian world and you've had to grow in a career the way that we had to grow in, and you had to lead the people that you had to lead, when it's time to go somewhere where now you have to follow versus lead all the time, that is a hard corner to put yourself in, because you really want to help and be that person you were in the military, but you find out real quick that people are like, we don't really give a shit. Like, just stay in the corner and play with crayons. I was like, I wasn't in the Marine Corps, but I'll take them crayons, right?
And it goes into a funny story. So I got called, I had HR called me, and I was like, HR? I was like, this is a real thing? And I was like, well, I'm the chief. I am HR, So I had an incident with the CFO. So something didn't happen. And I got this phone call for something like a payment or something that didn't happen. And I called him. I'm like, why in the hell am I getting this phone call that you didn't do your job?
Bosses made the shit out of them.
Dude, that was straight blunt. Like, in the military, like, hey, you didn't do your job. And, we say,
bro,
we make it, and we're like, do your job.
Yeah, you got to turn that heat up.
And then next thing they're like, hey, Yeah, he's a CFO. I'm like, I don't give a shit who he is. You know, I'm like, he's number 2 in command in the C-suite. I didn't really know what a lot of C-suite stuff was.
Yeah, I used to tell the C-suite what to do. Like, that's what I did.
I know the C-suite always came to me and was like asking for the answers. I gave it to, let's ask the chief. Let's ask the chief. I tell you what to do. Ask the chief. Do your job.
Yeah. Look, man, sometimes you got to turn that heat up. You got to turn it up.
Yeah, but that's not how they roll in the civilian world. So it's kind of one of those things, and they're like, that's kind of aggressive. You can't be so aggressive. And I'm
You're about to learn today, and we ain't talk about donkey punching.
Good news though, Troy. Here's the good news. When we turn the heat up here, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. How about that?
I love that shit.
Nice. Well, we're gonna let you get in the hot seat today. How about that? That's gonna be a good one. I can't wait for this one.
Let's fucking do it. But yeah, so yeah, veteran transition. It's a oh, motherfucker. All right. You caught me with this.
Yeah.
You put me on the spot now.
Yeah, we're veteran transitioning. All right. We're going to do a veteran transition. See? Kind of strategic on how I do things here. Troy, I've been watching you. Like you laughing and doing all that good stuff and telling you good stories. Now it's time for the people to really find out who Troy P is. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you some questions.
All right, the hot seat. Let's go.
I'm gonna ask you some questions. These questions are gonna go all over. I'm not gonna tell you the era of how they're coming and where. That's up for you to decide. The only thing I ask is that you answer the questions and you answer them honestly. There is no right or wrong answer. It's your answer. Your answer sticks. You're the chief. You know what I mean? And what you say goes. But the world is gonna know what we need to know when it comes to you. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna heat the seat up real quick. I need to know your top 5 rappers of all time. Your top 5.
Oh, my top 5?
Your top 5.
So I like West Coast. So I gotta go Tupac, Dre, Snoop. Then I had Biggie on earlier today, and then I'm brain farting. I'm on my 5 here. Dang,
You know what happens when you brain fart and you fart inside a fire? That's
it's gonna get gas. It's gonna get
higher.
I like Master P back in the day too. I like some Master P stuff. So that's 5.
That's 5. Okay. I heard some Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Master P, and who was the last one? Who was the other one?
Biggie.
Yeah, Biggie. All right, I got you. All right. We're all Navy guys in here with the exception of my man Ty Cobb. But he's been around us enough to know that he is he gets an honorable chair seat in the Navy. If you could change one rule in the Navy, what would you change and why?
If I change one rule in Navy and why?
Yep. What would it be? Would you change one thing? You had the power to change anything, Chief.
Ooh, if I had the power to change anything?
Yep, in the Navy.
Man. There's got to be a policy out there I would change. What would that be? Probably evaluation system. I'd change the evals. And why? I think it's a little broken in how we evaluate and put leaders in their spots. A lot of good old boy system stuff probably still going on, but I think the evaluation policies and how they rack them and stack them and put them in the seats that they need to be in kind of needs to be updated a little bit.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Okay. I've been listening to you. And I would say that you are pretty successful in the business that you do. You make a very, very good product. I like that April 1. I made some very good old fashions that I was able to share with my boys with us. So I would say you're pretty successful. Now, you've been a chief and you have a young sailor or somebody coming up in the game. What tips would you give someone wanting to run a successful business? What would be 3 tips that you would give them to help them be successful?
Have vision, have some grit, and be Semper Gumby and be flexible. For sure. Yeah, the grit, Grit, vision, and flexibility.
Grit, vision, and flexibility. You heard it there. All right, here you go. What's the best advice that you have ever been given, and who gave it to you?
A chief gave it to me. He said, you need to know what you want and what your needs are. Needs and wants were 2 big things. He goes, you might want a lot of stuff, but do you really need that stuff that you want? So he's like, really think about what you need versus what you want.
Wants and needs. I really like
wants
that.
And needs.
I tell my kids that all the time. Wants and needs. That's a big one.
Yep.
All right, here you go.
That came from the supply world.
There you go.
Supply chief.
Yeah, you might want some Mountain Dew. You might want some Coke, but you need some water. So we don't got none of that shit right now. So go get
you need some 8 counts in bodybuilders.
There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. There you go. All right. In your eyes, this is you. What is the most important attribute in a woman?
The most important attribute in a woman?
Yep. What's the most important attribute?
My wife's looking across at me right now.
Yeah, look at it. Yeah. What's the most important attribute? It's a little hot.
Ooh, most important attribute of a woman?
Yeah, you the chief. I know your wife is giving you the hot look over there. But you the man.
Her brains, her grit, her loyalty to her husband, everything, all that stuff. Okay. Yeah, that one went back to grit. Yeah, her brains really.
Now, when you say brains, Al could take that a whole different way. When you say brains, that can go the wrong way. Okay,
her smart.
Okay.
Her instinct. Her instinct. Yeah, she's her gut fair. Yeah, definitely like the stuff in. Yeah, not the brain. So we know what you're talking. Not the sailor idea of brain.
All right, there you go. But I got to turn the heat up on that one. I was going to let that one go.
Smarts. I think there's a lot of smarts.
Oh, you're okay with an ugly woman as long as she's smart. Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Ugly smart woman is okay.
I guess it depends on how ugly though. I mean, maybe she can be fugly. You said fugly. No, brains. Yeah.
Okay. Here you go.
Because there's gonna be times where I'm being dumb and she's got to be smart. You know.
Yeah. Well, I look at it when we wake up in the morning, we're all ugly. So.
Yeah. True story.
All right. Here you go.
Look, she's looking at me over there.
Yeah. All right. I need you to fill in the blanks on this one. There's 2 blanks. Okay. I need you to fill them in. I can forgive you for doing blank to me, but I will never forgive you for doing blank. Fill in those blanks. So I can forgive someone for doing blank, but I will never forgive you for doing blank.
I can forgive you for talking shit, but I can't forgive you for lying.
Lying's a powerful trait. That's
ugly. I'm not a big fan of lying. I mean, just do what you say you're going to do. Or
which one you think is worse, lying or stealing?
Lying, because you're gonna lie when you steal something.
That's true. Yeah, you lied about being honest when you stole it. Yeah. Okay, here you go. This one right here is a little bit different question. I want you to think back in time on someone that you've lost in life, someone who is no longer here in life with us, someone who's no longer on this side of the earth with us, right? I want you to, 1, say their name, and 2, tell me something that you will always remember about them.
Ben Christensen, man, that guy, he was all about get your ass up and get going. He said, if you're having a bad day, don't matter. Get up and get the job done. You got this. It's going to be ups and flows. He goes, you got to grind when you're down and celebrate when you're at your highs. Celebrate your highs and keep working when you're low and just keep going and keep going. So, yeah.
There you go.
Ben Christensen.
Ben Christensen, right?
Yep. And he got me out there midnight. He goes, you want to be this? You got to do this. And there's no excuses, because if you really want it, then you're going to go after and get it. And if you don't go after and get it, then you really don't want it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Salute to my man, Ben. That's an important question for me, because I think it's very important that we say their names and keep them alive. So, Ben, I know that you're looking down on your man, Troy.
My boy.
And what you've given him has helped him be successful, because he still remembers your words, and we will never forget you. It's very important that we do that and say your name. So to Ben's family and friends, if you're listening, our condolences to you for your loss, but it's very important that we say his name. All right, here we go.
Drink to that.
There you go. Here it is, Troy. You're standing in the mirror, buck booty naked. I need you to tell me One thing that you would like to have bigger, and one thing that you would like to make smaller.
Make my brain bigger, my belly smaller.
There you go. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. All right, here we go. We're almost done. I know your wife is in the room, and it's okay. That's what makes the heat. But I need to know, would you rather run downhill to kick some ass or run uphill to get some ass? Very important question.
I think I've done both in real life.
Which one would you rather do?
I mean, I guess it depends on the situation. You know, do I need to run up that hill to kick some ass, or do I need to run down that hill to get some? But I think it's a toss-up. It's 50-50 based on the scenario. But I think most likely, if the thing that was going on top of the hill didn't really fucking matter, I'll be running downhill.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Yeah. But if that thing at the top of the hill mattered, then I'll be running up that hill. It depends on what mattered more at the moment.
It's a temporary, you know what I mean? It's a situational question.
It's a situational question for sure.
All right, here we go. My podcast brothers want to know. I want to know, and I know I don't know how this is going to go because I'm feeling pretty good about this one today. I got to think positive, but I need to know. The podcast needs to know, and the judges need to know. In your opinion, Jordan, your opinion only, who's better? Is it Michael Jackson or Prince, and why?
Oh, Prince for sure.
God damn it.
He said, God damn it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate Michael, but I think Prince is probably.
So here goes the why question. And why?
Why? I think it kind of goes back to the personality and their hearts and their souls and who they were as a person. You know.
I think Michael Jackson is a bad person, man. It's Mr. Heal the World.
Yeah. Yeah, he is Mr. Heal the World.
Me and the entire human race.
True. It's true. And he did have a lot of good songs. He had good stuff. But for me, it comes back down to that. And I think it comes back to like the heart of the person, the heart and soul of the person, what they really are, truly are. You know, yeah, everybody makes a lot of good stuff, a lot of good things coming out, but on the end, is that person lying to me or not?
Damn. Okay.
And that's my lot. Yeah.
All right.
A lot of lies.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I see Ty. I can feel Ty smirking through the. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel the wind of his eyebrows. Like, I got you. And Matt is like leaning back in his seat, like, another one. He's got you. I know they love.
He got you.
Yeah.
Oh man, my bad. I'm not gonna lie. I still have Michael. I do have Michael on my playlist, but
all right.
As a whole person, I bring it down to the person.
All right. Well, I got to give you one more.
All right.
Before we go.
Just want your hand to time, yo.
28-19 right now. Mike, I'm holding on. It's okay. Okay. Troy didn't help you out, Mike, but we still will help him. We're there. All right, so here you go. Another one. Another 50-50 question, I would say.
All right.
To you again. This is your opinion, not being swayed by anywhere else in the world. To you, who is the GOAT? Is it Michael Jordan or is it LeBron James?
Oh, Michael Jordan. All day.
Why do you keep putting yourself in that position?
I got to ask.
I'm just asking.
He asking the wrong question.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like, what? So you're asking the wrong skin tone.
Sometimes I feel like I'm in the hot seat. Sometimes I do this. It's okay. All right. So we say Michael Jordan and why?
Bro, he's a GOAT, man. He just the way he did for the game. I mean, I guess it's always because he was probably the first one there, and you could see him growing up as a kid, playing with Scottie Pippen and playing that generation of guys, playing Horace Grant. I watched Shaquille O'Neal play, and it was just that era with me watching basketball. It was Jordan. It was not really much a lot LeBron, even though maybe he is comparable to probably. I don't know if he really is, but I got to go with Jordan. It's from my roots as a child, you know.
Gotcha. All right, it's a root question.
Hey, listen, Michael Jordan also golfs, good, and he played baseball for the White Sox. LeBron's only played one sport.
LeBron James played football too, man. He's
Oh,
great.
yeah, for football, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I got it. All right, so here we go. Here go the last one, and you're out of here. You make a good bourbon whiskey, and you're a good guy, man. I know you're a good guy. I don't know how many podcasts you've been on, or where you're, what you've seen or what you've done. But in your time of watching podcasts and what you've seen and what you've been through, and now that you've sat here with the fellas, I need to know this. Where do you rate us on a 1 to 10, and why? And the last part of that is, what could we do to be better?
1 to 10, I give you guys an 8 because there's always room for growth. Can't give you a perfect score because you can always get better for sure. I love the hot seat. This is awesome. I wasn't expecting it. So that kept it up. But yeah, I think it's great what you guys are doing, bringing people in here and you can hear transitions. And you're especially you're here for a positive cause. You're not just talking smack. I mean, you are talking smack, but there's also a reason behind it. It's not, but yeah.
Okay. So what could we do better?
Oh, what you guys could do better? Ooh, yeah. Damn. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, an hour 30. I mean, I think maybe the audience might be shut out at about an hour. I don't know. I haven't even not sure, but maybe keep it to an hour.
You're an interesting guy, man. An hour we wouldn't be able to capture.
I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. I was like, because I'm just kind of going based on things that people's attention span.
Yeah.
I mean, an hour and a half is a whole movie.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you're a movie, man. You're worth it.
I'm a movie guy.
Yeah. Well, I do want to tell you, man, I appreciate you. Congratulations for successfully making it through the hot seat. Hats off to you. Man. Salute to you. I really appreciate your story and what you've done. It was fun. And it was very great, man. Getting to know you more and find out what you're doing. I wish you much success in everything that you do. But I'm not kicking you off. I'm just letting you know that's the
end of the round. That's the end of the round of the heat.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I got a little hot. I was like, man, Troy. I don't know what he's gonna ask me. What's going on here?
Troy straight up just gave us our first eval at the command. Listen, man. Everybody that comes here, you got to start somewhere, buddy, and you're gonna get a promotable because there's always room for growth. Like he gave the total chief fucking answer, dude. You can always get better. Like I can't make you perfect. There's no 5-0 sailor shit, man.
You got the 8 as a promotable, you get 9 as an MP, and then when you get that EP, you got that 10, baby.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That was cool. That was fun. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Well, I know that I enjoy your whiskey. I know that the guys have had it before. I just really want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate you coming on and telling your story, being open about the things that you went through and the things that it takes to be where you're at. I mean, I feel like with a lot of veterans, we could have a lot more conversations in your case about entrepreneurship. What are the failures and what are the successes and how do you get through those? But all in all, man.
Yeah.
Great whiskey. I can't wait to see the next iteration, especially knowing it's going to be for a good cause. I can't wait to support that one. And, like I said earlier, and I know all the guys feel this way, like you've been on here today. You're welcome back anytime you want to come. Yeah. Anything. You want to promote something, you want to talk about something, you just want to talk some shit.
Well, next time we do this from Bourbon Country in Kentucky and drink whiskey.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think
I'll tell you what, Troy. I do have something I want to ask of you. And I was always told if you don't ask, then you're never gonna get. But this is what I want. And I'm not asking this as a giveaway. This is what I need from you. I would like to have an autographed bottle of your April 1 with your autograph on it. I need one with your autograph on it and one that I'm going to drink. One that's going to go up in my memoir room and one that I'm going to drink. And I will pay for it. I don't want you to give it away. But I do need that from you. That's my request from you. That's all I have.
I got you right
here. Sounds nice. Make it twice. Sounds nice. Make it twice.
Hey, don't worry. I got bourbon 4 times. Hey, we got bourbon for days. I mean, we got it for days, so we got enough. I was say, anybody wants a barrel? I'll get you a whole barrel.
Hey, that's an interesting thing that you just said, because I do have questions about that. I'm going to reach out to you after this because
please.
I want to run something by and see if it's possible.
Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's it. The party's over.
Where can we
we gotta have a drink together.
Hey, Troy.
Ty's been over there sipping all the whole time. He's right.
Troy, where can we buy your merch, bro? Where can we buy the?
So everything is aprilbourbon.com. So all the merch is online. That's where all of our releases go. All the bottles are on there, so that's the only place you get merch. But bottles are online and the Navy Exchange.
You said aprilbourbon.com?
April1bourbon.com.
April 1 Bourbon. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
1 Bourbon.
So we got merch. We're still growing. That's a new store. So we got a couple hats. We got this sweater. We got the hoodie. There's some T-shirts. We got some glasses and stuff on there. We always want you guys' feedback on new merch that you guys say that you would like to see. So that's we're growing that and we're making it better. So
yeah, my man, I love it.
No, appreciate it, guys.
I love it.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
What I do this for, man. Getting a chance to see entrepreneurship, people who are once served, got out of there and became successful. It is a story that needs to be told because a lot of people have a misconception about how things work in the military and afterwards, right? And it's always good to know that there is life in the military and life after the military. And there are some people that are doing some awesome things, like yourself. They're doing awesome things after they get done. And I would say that you would have to contribute some of that to some of the leadership and some of the morals and ethics and training, and you know what I'm saying, that we developed while in that makes us a little bit dynamic. But you know what I mean, it's always good when you see somebody get out and do great things, man. So hats off, man. I salute you, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks, guys, for having me on. Yes, hit me up anytime, all you guys. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, remarks, or theories, drink April 1.
Absolutely, dude. And hey, we're gonna reach out to you and set up this on-site podcast, man. We're gonna start to talk about that. And so
I actually went to high school at Fletcher Senior there at the beach in Jacksonville, so I know all about Jacksonville as well. Me and Al.
Yeah, Fletcher. I heard of Fletcher. Yeah. We'll come out there.
West
Hey, I wanted to say, brother. Yeah, that's right. 904 Duval. I wanted to say, here's a shot for you, brother, in honor.
Duval.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheers, guys.
This brought all of us together after we did, I think,
celebrity softball,
veterans celebrity softball game. So I love hearing the leadership, anything that piques these guys' interest and gets them, laughing. That's part of the whole dynamic that we have on Tuesdays at 7. So thank you. And here, this shot's for you and Genuine Spirit Company and April 1 Bourbon.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
And shouts out to Christopher, man, because his name will stay forever on this podcast. It lives here, so you can always go back. You got to keep them names alive, man. It's very important. Yeah,
definitely. All right, brother. Hey, Troy, we'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, guys. Cheers. Have a good one.
Talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. Great guest, man.
Word.
Yeah, I love it when when they start waxing poetic about something, and then I'll see you guys cutting up in the background. I realize we're hitting a chord, and that's exactly what we want to do. Is he even said it. Like once he started talking about a couple stories, like he started remembering other things. And then
dude,
he said, he's been out for 8 years, and just being back in here and having the vernacular and using the lexicon we're using, man. It's just like being back with the boys. I love it.
Hell yeah. Good time.
All right, so we got some review to do here because everybody's not been together for a while. So let's talk about future guests first. So next week, I don't have a picture yet, but we got Connor Pavey.
He's a sniper, bro.
Sniper.
Yeah. You don't have no neck.
Change 1000. I told Matt, but I should have told you, Ty. He hasn't responded back.
Okay. We may have a switcheroo.
That's fine. If it's just us, man, we'll watch poetic, man.
I talked to the Army Ranger that's running for office.
Jamie.
Jamie's gonna switch for us and come in.
Oh, he's gonna come next week instead?
Yeah.
All right, well, good. Talk about your boy.
Jamie Wells. Oh, super cool. I actually met him kind of by mistake, just by happenstance. Really, me and my son were headed to the grocery store, and I ended up seeing like a bunch of booths. So we were like, let's go walk over and see what they're selling. And it was a bunch of veteran booths. People were selling like the wood stuff behind me and just a bunch of stuff. And his booth was at the end. I walked down there and started talking with him. He's a prior sergeant major, has a veteran organization where he works with veteran suicide and transition, a bunch of different things. But he was an Army Ranger, infantry guy, just an outstanding, phenomenal guy. Like, we talked forever, just kind of bullshitted. And I kind of was like, hey, we got a veteran podcast. And then he reached out to me. He's like, hey, I'd love to come on the show. He's also running for state representative in the state of Florida, District 3. So he's doing a lot of things in the veteran community, and a lot of things are wanting to get into that political world, which I know that's kind of one of Ty's things, right? One day we'll be voting for Ty, but I'm super excited about having him on. He's just really down to earth. Probably has some really awesome Army stories. But the guy, like Matt said, he's like a 12-year-old in his picture when he was
bro. This dude's standing up with his beret and his uniform, and I looked at it, I was like, that he's a sergeant major. I was like, he looks like 22 years old.
Yeah. Army Ranger. So I'm excited to have him on the 21st.
Yeah. All right. So I'm excited for that. So he'll be next week.
Yep.
That's cool, man. All right. So sports, a little bit of review. We did lose in the fantasy football. We finished third. I don't know if you guys caught that. I know Matt was with me last week. Finished third. All right. So this week, we were picking the Texas-Ohio State, and Ohio State whooped that ass on Texas. Yep. And then Penn State, Notre Dame. It was Notre Dame. So So let's see what the records were last week.
Yeah, Ty.
So there you are, Matt. You're 12-2.
I know.
Okay.
Wait, but what's the second one I lost? I'm 13-1, bro.
No, you're 12-2. The two you lost were Clemson SMU, Penn State, and Indiana and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
No, there's no way. I picked Notre Dame 100%.
No, not Notre Dame. I'm sorry.
I got the A&M game wrong, and I got the SMU game wrong. There you go.
Yeah. Tennessee and SMU.
There you go. 12-2. Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. And then this week, Ohio State, Notre Dame. Got to pick that.
Right, no.
All right, my pick's in.
Who is
I already got you written down now.
Yeah.
I don't have a choice.
It's not going to happen now. I'm sorry. As much as I want him to go, I don't think it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. My boy Jeff's got it. He's going to make it happen from heaven. We're going to do this. It's happening.
Well, you can go ahead on right now. I mean, Todd. I gotta go with Ohio, brother. I'm saying, hey, this is not. Hey, this is a no lose for me, because if Notre Dame wins, I'm still going to be happy, because Notre Dame they turned the table around this season. We've been rooting for them the whole season. It's not that I'm turning my back on them, because
you got to pick for. You got to be smart. You got to make your smart pick.
This round right here, this is going for W's and L's. And Al and Matt is on my hinds, so I gotta go Ohio.
I mean, you're on my hinds basically, but here's the deal: no matter what happens in this game, I'm winning. Yeah, you know this, yes?
Well, not really.
Go back and look at the record.
No, it's 12. You're only up one game, so if you pick Notre Dame and Notre Dame,
I'm not going to lose. I haven't lost yet.
Okay, so what are you going to take? You taking Ohio then?
No, I'm taking Notre Dame. Here's why.
Then we're going to tie up.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we're going to tie.
Name me the last time Ohio State won a national championship.
I could not.
And after you do that, tell me how many times they've been in the title game and couldn't get it done.
But they're going to get it done.
Yeah, they say but every time they go in there and then they show their ass.
Let me change something, brother.
The Irish are winning, bro.
All the vitamins and all those little Hulkamaniacs out there.
Yeah, that's what Ryan Day is in the room saying, and your boy at Notre Dame is going, just keep doing what we've been doing all year. I think Notre Dame wins, dude.
Listen here, Mean Gene. Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, this is it. You know what I mean?
And if I tie you, then that's good for us. You can know that you tied the guy that was in the dumpster last year. You know what I mean?
No, I was in the dumpster last year. I was bad last year.
Oh, I'm talking last year. You couldn't get no worse than I did in season 1. Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah. Season 1, you were terrible.
See? It's a comeback, dude. Comeback player of the year. There you go.
You're right.
Ty,
what you got?
I am going to go with Ohio State because I think they're overdue. And also, I want to hear the narrative with the Ryan Day and ESPN talking about Ryan Day should have been fired earlier, and then the Kirk Herbstreit, Stephen A. and Shay drama that was going on. I want to hear what they say if Ohio State wins the championship. So
I'm going with Ohio for the 3 words: goal line defense. Their goal line defense is crazy.
Now that is true.
That's it. I mean, that's all I got. If Notre Dame can do some long plays, and you know, if they do some long bombs and run into the end zone, they're great. But if they have to inch their way into the end zone, it's going to be tough because Ohio, them boys, I don't know what it is on how they are able to snap in within that red zone and stop everything. But it's just like their defense just activates and they just shut down everything. It's crazy to watch.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, what do you think, Phyllis? Is good being back together? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. Everybody back, man. And I see how beer grew all the way back like it used to be.
Yeah, I'm taking care of it. Taking care of it.
I'm gonna have to shave here soon, dude. Shit's growing too long.
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta let it go, man.
I'm gonna go Duck
All right,
Dynasty style. We're gonna take it all the way to the flow.
Let's bounce up out of here then.
All right. Well, this was another episode of the Triple Threat Vets Podcast. We had the full crew in today. We had my man Troy P giving you guys his he waxed poetic with us. And if you guys haven't tried that April 1, go get it, go try it. I can't deny it. It's very good stuff, man. I'm not just saying that because he was here. I had it and we drank it before I even knew who he was. And I had said good things about it then. I only can say even more good things about it now that I got to meet the person who made it. So I would just tell you, if you're looking for a good bourbon to drink, that is one that you need to have on your shelf. And you heard it from High Tizzle himself. But I am DJ World T. Like I said, this is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. I'm going to tell you like I always tell you. Somebody is looking for you to be there tomorrow. Get your ass up and be there. Never give up. Never give in. That's the only way that you can win. I'm going to bring my fellas in. Al, my pal, that's coming on back in style. What you got to say now?
Just want to say, like I always say, every day, right? Make sure you don't sweat the petty stuff. You pet that sweaty stuff, right?
There you go.
Love everybody out there. Check on your buddies this week. Make sure you make a phone call, send a text message. Make sure your battles are doing okay. If you ain't talked to somebody in a while, reach out to them. Make sure they're doing all right. That's all I got. Love y'all.
All right. And to my man, where you at, Big Matt? What you got for us?
Just want to remind everybody out there that I'm going to win the t-shirt contest. It's going to start February the 1st. Be on the lookout. You may or may not start seeing these gentlemen trying to put some creative ad reels together for their t-shirt, but don't let it fool you. The only one worth buying is the one that's got Matt Johnson's face on it. So, and I promise we'll make sure all their links work when you go to buy the t-shirt. I promise it's going to happen. But there they are. We're doing t-shirts for charity this year, y'all. So support us, support charities. And really, we just want to make sure we can get a lot of money to some people that really need it to help our community and the veterans that are out there. Thanks for joining, as always. And we will see you guys next week.
All right. And to my brother from another mother, my man, T.Y., the wax poetic guy. What you got to say for him, brother?
Hey, don't you think like sometimes when you hear that, when you heard Troy say like this felt like being in the Chiefs mess or this felt like being back in the military, doesn't that just make you feel good?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I love about this.
Yeah. It's good when when you bring somebody back to a time where they, you know what I mean, where things was good and where you it's hard to explain. It's one of them things like you had to have been in a situation to have shared that type of camaraderie to understand it, because there's really no way that you can even explain how that is to be able to join and be locked in with someone that for no other reason than, you know what I'm saying, supporting the country and wearing that uniform will bring you guys together. And because it has, and the things that you guys go through together that you volunteer for, man, it's crazy. Those friendships last forever, man. It's weird how it works, but it does.
Yeah, I tell you, like you hear Pat McAfee talk about be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might save their life. It literally does. Like you never know who you're going to interact with on Facebook, on a text message. You just may call someone out of the blue, and you never know how that could possibly help someone. I mean, I've had that happen to me, and I've had that people do that for me And that's just one of the little things that we're trying to do here. I know we cut up. I know we say some funny shit. We curse a lot. But what we're really trying to do is build a network and build some good humor and good rapport with the people that served our country and defended our nation. And there's a lot of decisions going on these days, but just remember, if you served in the military, you signed your name on the dotted line to defend your country, and that, to me, that makes you better than most people. So love you. Next formation is Tuesday at 7. We'll see you soon.
There you go. And shout out to the lady of my life, my wife. I don't think I said enough, but I love that woman, man. Sometimes you got to just say it, but it is what it is. I love you guys too. And you guys come on back. Next Tuesday, we'll be here. The guys will be here. Won't you be there? All right. I'm DJ Royalty. This is a Triple Threat Vet podcast. And until we see you guys again, we'll miss you and we're looking for you. All right. Get out there and do something good for yourself or someone else. And make sure, remember to smile. It's a good gesture. Just try it. All right. See you guys next week, man. We out of here.